Well, hello there. My name's Doug Meadows, and I'm the founder and visionary and hero maker here at Dazzling Diamonds. And I just wanted to welcome you to our series on a century of luxury and legacy. And this week, we're getting close to Mother's Day. It's a couple of weeks away yet, but I just wanted to talk about Mother's Day for just a minute because jewelry is a big part of that. It's probably our second largest season in the whole year is the beginning of May, or really all of May, because then we have graduations and wedding season and wedding bands and anniversaries. Just a lot goes on in May. But just wanted to give you, I don't know, a little background on my mom. My mom, she was great. I mean, she ran our household and did a really good job with that. But sadly, we lost her to cancer at a relatively young age. And, back to our name, David Douglas. My brother's Dave and I'm Doug. We put our first names together to create the David Douglas. And growing up, our dad tried to do his best to help us to understand how to honor our mom and how to respect our mother. And, I'll never forget one time, I was trying to get some money from him so I could buy my mom a birthday present or Christmas present. I forget what it was. And he said, "Son, listen, if you don't have any money, that's okay. Your mother would probably appreciate a homemade Mother's Day card or Christmas card or birthday card a whole lot more than anything store-bought." He said, "You'll always be able to find a piece of paper and a crayon or a pencil and just make your mom a nice heartfelt homemade Mother's Day card." And so when we started our business and stuff, we just started getting involved in our local schools and just having some fun with that. I was actually inspired by a jeweler out west. He was doing a Mother's Day writing contest, and I thought, oh man, that'd be so cool to do that in my community. And so we were doing some articles in a magazine back then. And this is 23, 24 years ago. And I was just talking to the person writing the article about this idea of a writing contest for mom and different things. And she actually came up with the name for me, and it's called Dazzling Diamonds for Mom. And so every year we invite our local schools to participate. The first year, I don't know, I think I had maybe 100 entries, maybe 200, I don't know, not very many. And I don't even remember how many schools I invited. I should have looked up those statistics and shared them with you, but we invited these kids, and it just was really cool. And then the letters started coming in, and you're like, oh no, what do we do with these now? And so then we had to figure out how to judge them. And then we had to, man, it's been 23 years, so I don't know the whole progression on it. Where we have ended up at is let me tell you the fiasco we had one year. We had two stores at the time. My brother was operating a Woodstock location, and I was operating the Marietta location. And so I just thought more is better. And so I went on to the county's websites. There was Cherokee County and Cobb County. And I invited every school in Cobb County. I think at that time there was over 100, no, there's not that many. There was a lot of schools to invite. And then in Cherokee County, Cherokee County's big, and we're just on the fringe. The Woodstock store was just on the fringe of it. So we just invited a good many of them. But, we just kind of put a circle around the store and looked at it that way. But so that year, we had over 14,000 letters come in that we had to judge and then print up certificates and different things. And I'll tell you what, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of late nights putting it all together. And then, years previously, me and my boys, we would package all these things up, and I'd take them to the post office and we'd mail them to them. And then this year, it took us so long to prepare it all that we did not have the time to mail it. And so me and my wife, she would drive me around to all the schools, and then I would run in and deliver them. It took us 3 days to go deliver all those. And it was a good exercise because it made me realize how far away I was trying to draw from. And, we're a good jewelry store, but I tell you what, I don't think people are going to drive for 45 minutes to an hour to get to us. And that really doesn't honor or bless them. And so we revamped after that year. What we did is we took a look at where the store was, and we put, about a 20-minute drive circle around that location. And then we looked at what schools are in that little zone, both public schools, private schools, Christian schools, parochial schools, whatever you call them. And so we invited those schools from kindergartner all the way up to 5th grade. And so now it's down to where we invite 27 schools in our community to participate in our writing contest. And so this year, out of those 27 schools that we invited, 25 of them participated. We had 500 classrooms that participated of those 25 schools. And then of that, we received over 8,500 letters from all the children. And so the process that we go through is when they all come in, we do an envelope for each classroom and put all the entries in there. There might be 2 entries in there. But on an average, there's probably about 20 letters in each classroom, 15 to 20 letters. And then we organize those by grade levels. And then we invite some judges to participate in helping us judge all these. And they'll go through and read each classroom. And out of each classroom, they'll pick a best of class. And then we have all these boxes full of these letters for different grades. And then when that comes back to us, the other thing they do is out of their box, they pick a best of box so that we kind of narrow it down. And so by the time it gets to us, for example, in the kindergartner class, we might have, 4 or 5 best of class. And then 1st grade, 4 or 5 best of class. And out of those best of class, we then kind of pass it around the store, and everybody votes on which one they like the best. And that's how we choose our diamond winner, because we've made the commitment that we give away 1 diamond to every grade level. So kindergartner through 1st, we're giving away 6 diamonds to a mom, or sometimes the child ends up taking it from mom and saying, I want it, which is kind of fun. But and so, so we get down to the diamond winners. But then, when I was a little kid and I was in school and these contests would come around, I just always wondered, does anybody ever win these things? Because you never really saw anybody win. And so we came up with the idea that every classroom that participates gets a Best of Class award, and they'll get a free gemstone. And so, with 500 classrooms, and then you got 7 or 6 diamond winners, And then the other thing that we do is in our community, in this group of schools, there are 4 what we call Title I schools. Title I is where most of the school, the majority of the school is poor or just don't have a lot, and they qualify for, the kids will get maybe a free breakfast or a free lunch or a free breakfast and lunch. I've got one teacher in one of those schools. She shares with me that when summertime comes, the kids hate leaving school because they know they're going to go home and not have a meal. And if when they come into school, they get a nice meal twice a day for breakfast and lunch. But we kind of rotate through those 4 schools, and we notify them that they've been chosen this year to be our Title I sponsored school, and that those kids will get a completed necklace, a gemstone set in a silver pendant with a silver chain and a nice box and a nice presentation. We print off their certificate for them, and so they get a nice presentation. So it's a little bit of work to put it all together, but it's very rewarding when we can go into the schools and present these diamonds to the kids. And so that's what we've been busy with these past few weeks. We start this contest back in January. We go to all the schools' websites and find the teachers' names and email addresses. We send an invitation to the principal first and get their permission before we invite the teachers to participate. And and then we have a deadline in March for them to get the entries in, so that we can then organize them and get them to the judges so that they can all be judged. And and then once they're all judged, then we pick the diamond winner. We notify the schools, set up times that I can go. And so this past week, I've been going to all the schools to present the diamond winners. And it's just been a lot of fun to do all that. And I think, I don't know, I may be speaking out of turn, but maybe next week I will go a little bit more in depth and actually share some of the writings that became our diamond winners this year with you all. But I don't know, it is a lot of fun to try to teach the kids to honor their moms in our community. And I'll have to share some of the stories with you that we've received on that. But I don't know, it's been a real blessing to participate with the schools, partner with the schools in all this. And we sponsor a couple of our local schools that are right in, that are closest to us. But Mother's Day is special. It's coming up. It's right around the corner. And I just want to remind you, there's nothing like a homemade card. And store-bought presents and store-bought cards are okay. But it actually takes a lot more effort and a lot more thought to put a card together. And I know that your mother, your grandmother, your wife, whoever would receive anything like that definitely would appreciate that. One of the other things that we also do is we carry some of this over into the community with the widows. We have Precept Ministries that we work with that does a great job of working with the widows. And, Mother's Day is sometimes tough for them. And, just trying to let them know that somebody's thinking of them or caring for them. And, they put together a lot of nice little fun things for them for Mother's Day. But, But anyways, I think that's it for this week. I'll probably kind of continue this next week a little bit, and that's it. Well, thanks for listening, watching, reading, whatever, however you enjoy this content or put yourself through to listen to it. But we'll see you then. Bye now.